So the girl says that her brother, there was a unit of 25 these Golani guys, Golani Brigade, and they had to go into this house that had a tunnel in the house, and that's where the opening to the tunnel was. And so it's interesting, the Israeli army, the officers go first. They don't send the guys in first, they go first. Yeah, that's how it is. I think, if I remember correctly, David HaMelech and his armies, he went first. Usually, it talks about it. In the other armies, the generals are in the back, and they send the soldiers. And David HaMelech, he was in the front, and all the big people were in front. Anyway, so this unit goes into this house, and so there's 25 guys. So like 6 guys go in with the lieutenant or whatever he was, colonel, go in, and the other guys surround the house to make sure that the house is protected while they go into the tunnel. So the radio guy, like 15 minutes after they go in, he tries to reach his commanding officer, and there's no answer. And they're figuring, the worst thing you do is get captured by these guys. So they're talking outside. What do we do? Do we go in? Do we stay out? He's not answering. We have to go in there and say, this is what she says. This is what her brother told her. So that her brother and the rest of the chevra, they leave like 4 or 5 guys outside, and they go inside. They figure they're going to have a firefight. They're going to have to save their commanding officer. They walk in, and standing at the entrance of this hole that's going this cave is a rabbi with a long beard, a long frock, like a black, with he even explains what it looks like a Hamburg, one of those Rosh Hashiva hats, standing there. I guess the sergeant, whatever, he says, what are you doing in Gaza? Like, what are you doing in this house? What are you doing in this house? And this is what he says. And Rabbi Auerbach doesn't tell stories. These are chashuva people. He says, so this man who looked like this tzaddik, listen, said to them, you must get out of the house now, or else, in Ivrit be'Ivrit, if you don't get out of the house now, there will be many widows, almanot, and many widows and orphans. You have to leave now. So the sergeant says, we cannot leave now. We have to go into the tunnel to find out where our boys are, where they are. And he said, no, you're not going into the tunnel. You have to leave the house now. And this soldier says, you don't understand. It's our commanding officer. We're not leaving without him. And this man's blocking the doorway to this. This rabbi is blocking the doorway to this tunnel. And he says, I'm really sorry, Rabbi, but I got to get you out of the way. And he puts his hands to pull the rabbi out of the way, and his hands go right through him. There's nothing there. And all the guys are standing there, and they're like, hey, right, you can't believe such a thing. All the guys are standing there, and they're like, what are we watching over here? Who is this? What is this? What? Just tell me the story. He called me today to tell me the story. So wait, not finished. So these guys are like in total shock. The commanding officer now is coming out of the tunnel. I guess for some reason the radios didn't work that deep, whatever it was. He's coming out of the tunnel, and this guy is still standing there. And the commander says, what do you do? He's a commander. He says, why is there a rabbi in here? What's going on over here? And he tries to push him out of the way, and he just walks right through him. And the 6 guys walk right through this thing that's talking to them. And he turns around to all of them. He says, I'm begging you, you must leave the house now. And they're all freaked out. I don't even want to tell you another part of it, because then you totally won't believe the story. But the way he says it over is that when he was talking, this malach, whoever it was talking, that from his mouth was coming fire. And they're all looking at this, and they've never seen anything. Some of them are dati, some of them are not. They're totally freaking out. And he's like, get out now. And they all run out. He said they were mamish 20 steps out of the house, and the thing blew sky high. And he called his sister, because I guess his sister, maybe she's from, and he said, I just saw a malach. And the whole unit, it seems to be they're just talking, they're telling everyone about this. Other people think they're crazy, right? They're telling everyone about this. And these guys saw a malach that saved their lives. And, I know a soldier. I know a guy that was a soldier, a young guy.